Hi everyone, it's President Wilson again for another video. As I've been walking around the campus with things being opened up, I see people, and one of the questions I've been getting is, am I going to do another video? Well, the reason why I stopped was that I was feeling like there was other ways of getting information, and CNN and various other channels, and I felt like at some point that I wasn't adding too much more new information, so I stopped. I'm starting now because I do think I have some new information to be able to tell you. It relates to the survey that we did concluded a couple of weeks ago, and I'm very encouraged by that survey. So I wanted to tell you the results of that. First of all, before I do that, I'm always asked the question of, are we going to mandate the COVID vaccine? And my response is always the same. The goal is to have as healthy a campus and as healthy a campus community as possible. And vaccination is a key to that. So if it requires vaccination, a mandate vaccination to reach that, I have no qualms with doing a mandate. However, I'm not really convinced that we have to do a mandate. I think people have been very, very responsive. They've been very compliant, and if we can get the vaccination rates that we need without a mandate, that would be my preference. And so the survey was done to see, exactly where we were, and I'm very encouraged. First of all, almost 7,700 people responded. That's 25% of the people who could have responded, and the results were encouraging. 75% of the respondents are fully vaccinated, and 85% have at least one dose. Those are pretty high. Undergraduates were the lowest. They had 66.4% was fully vaccinated, and about 79.3% that was partially vaccinated. But the faculty were very, very high. They had over 93% fully vaccinated and over 97% partially vaccinated. And the response rate among the faculty was also very high. So these are pretty good numbers. Now, obviously, when you only have 25% responses, which actually is pretty good for this kind of survey, you still have to worry about response bias. That is, those who decide to respond are those who have more likely been vaccinated, and those who were not vaccinated are less likely to respond. But there are different ways of correcting for that, or at least estimating what the real results are, with weighting and standardization and so forth. And by doing that, and first of all, let me thank Mike Thompson of the Center for Urban Studies for doing the survey and for doing the analysis. But when in estimating the response bias, he bracketed the lowest and the highest in terms of what the likely vaccination rates are. And it's quite interestingly, the lower bound is about 61%, and the higher bound is about 85%. So that means that perhaps somewhere in the middle is where our true vaccination rate is, between 61 and 85%. This is partially vaccinated. These are pretty high numbers, particularly when you consider that the survey was completed several weeks ago. So it's likely that more people have gotten vaccinated in the interim period. Obviously, the undergraduates are the population that we're going to have to focus more on. They did have the lowest response rate as well as the lowest vaccination rate. I've asked our staff to really look at some more incentives for everyone. I know that faculty have done a very good job already with vaccination, but I think that to really try to get just a few who are still not vaccinated, we really need to step it up in terms of our communications about the importance of it, and try to get as many incentives out there as possible. We will be doing another survey in about a month or so. I urge you to please take it. Take the survey. It'll be a little simpler than this first one, fewer questions, and the more response rate we get, the better the data, and I urge you please to take it when the time comes. Okay, in terms of books, I've been reading a lot of memoirs lately. I've probably read about a dozen or so. Quite honestly, none of them really bowled me over. I mean, they were okay, but nothing earth-shattering, except maybe the one that I enjoyed the most was probably John Thompson. John Thompson was the coach of Georgetown, basketball coach of Georgetown in the 1960s and 70s. And perhaps the reason why I liked his memoir so much is I knew a lot of players that he recruited for Georgetown, played ball with them on the playgrounds and so forth. So that was kind of interesting. It's really kind of difficult writing a memoir. I've been at it now for most of this year. I'm getting to the point where I think that I can turn it over to an editor, but it is difficult. So instead of doing a book review on subsequent videos, I'll let you know how progress on my book is coming along, okay? So until next time, I hope to see you again soon, and hope to see you on campus actually soon. Please, when the next survey comes out, please fill it out. Appreciate it. Thank you.